KSWAM, San Antonio College Radio. This is the Urban Suite D Major. Cheryl Metal, Ricky Versetti in studio. Also got a special guest joining us. Baby.
What's up? What's up?
Miss Venice. Get on the mic over there, lady.
What's
Say
up?
hello.
What's up? How you doing?
Thanks
Venice,
for joining
text
us
month
tonight.
one. What's up?
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming through. Like I said, it's been a while since the last time we saw you.
Oh, it's been a minute. Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
yes,
I've been out of
yes.
town.
You've been exploring. You've been
I've been
living
exploring.
life.
Yeah, you know, you got to try to live your best life. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Wow.
You got to, and that's what I'm out there doing. You know,
Man, that's
so
what's
I'm
up.
still doing it. You got to.
You have to. Yes.
Gotta grind to do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It don't
kinda-
come free.
It's kind of staying on the theme that we've been talking about, since we got started with the interview. Just living your best life and taking the opportunities and
Absolutely.
just running with it.
Yeah, you gotta take
those
chances.
risks. Yeah, take those risks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your experience on Queen of the South.
Yes.
Yeah. How was that?
That was a very unique learning experience. Because, I do music. So acting was never really something that I would say I was bit on pursuing, like the way I was with music. I was not taking no for an answer. Acting was more like, I was kind of thrust into that, and then they were like, "Hey, be on the show," and I was like, "I've never acted in my life, and you're gonna throw me into this show? Like, can I start at the bottom, maybe?" So it was very nerve-wracking. Acting is not easy. Shout out to the actors, man, because they make it look very easy. That's hard. All I was tasked to do was, I was like the bouncer, and I was gonna let like the two main actors in through the velvet rope, and I had to act. I was like, how what do I do? And they were like, "You're just gonna, yeah, but how? Like, is there a certain angle I'm supposed to stay?" They were like, "Just do what you do. We've got the angles covered."
Yeah.
But it was that experience. It was a little nerve wracking at first, but I definitely got to learn a lot of the behind the scenes. I got to actually work as a prop man too.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so we were dressing some of the scenes. That's what they call it, by the way. It's the terminology. They dress the scenes, which means that they take a picture of how the scene was actually left off before they stop filming, and then you have to duplicate that exactly. So it was real cool to see, get to experience all that process, and I also got to be a translator.
Word.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I was altering
That's
the guy I was working with. I was altering a lot of his lines because he was like, because he was a cartel boss. So I'm like, "Hey man, I live in Mexico, bro. So I kind of know how this goes. They would never say that,
No.
And he's like, "Well, what would they say?" And I was like, "Well, they would say this." And so he would adjust it, and then they'd run it by the script, and they'd be like, "Do it." So I was actually able to alter a lot of lines, but by doing that, they were like, "Well, what are you saying?" And so they were like, "Well, here, get one of the headsets and put a headset on." And they actually sat me down with the lady that wrote the scripts, and I would have to translate everything because they needed the English and the Spanish version for the subtitles.
Wow.
That's a big step.
Yeah, so it was
Wow.
it was definitely interesting. Yeah.
Wow. That's. I don't even know what to say.
That's amazing. And dressing the set is incredible because every little detail, the way the curtain was hanging,
Yes.
the cigarette in the ashtray,
Yes.
and the amount that it was burned, if it was lit or not, how many ashes were in the.
Yes. What side of the ashtray was it on?
Yeah.
Was there lipstick on it? Was it not?
Exactly,
Everything.
yes.
Oh, hey, he wasn't wearing his ring on his left side. It was on the right side. And,
Right.
you gotta pay attention to all
Everything.
that, yeah.
Fingernail polish color, like everything.
All
Yes.
that detail.
Yeah, it's a lot of detail. And the people that I got to meet on set, I was able to carry those relationships on to other things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the props guys, I could call them up and, "Hey, I need this for my music videos or something." And
Oh,
I can
yeah.
actually get, you want that level of quality though, it's going to cost you. You make relationships, it's not going to be free. But we have that access. When before it was like, well, who do we even call?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, back in the day when you bring up Intoxicated earlier, I used to go by Trouble. Trouble Versetti, right? It was actually my experience on Queen of the South that made me transition into Ricky Versetti, because I started to get the opportunity to meet like executive producers like David Friendly, who was the actual executive producer of the whole show.
Yeah.
And we were on a first name basis type thing, and because I would see him in New Orleans, I saw him in Dallas, we ran into him in LA. So when we ran into him in LA, he actually was the one that confirmed I had made the show. He's like, "Oh, I just saw you on the cutting board." And I look at my man, I'm like, I guess that means that we made I made the episode. Because you can
Yeah.
film stuff that won't never make it.
Right.
We film so much. And it's like, well, none of that made, even made the edit. So we didn't know if I was going to actually be in the edit. And they were like, no, he confirmed it. But when I first met these guys, my man was introducing me like, oh, this is my man, Trouble Versetti. And the look that they would always give me was trouble. Like, it almost made me feel unprofessional somehow.
Yeah.
Although I was a music artist and whatever, I felt like
Trouble.
You don't want that to be your MO when you meet people. Like, oh,
yeah.
that guy's Trouble. What? No, that's his name.
Yeah. So because of that experience, I was like, it's time to grow up a little bit, mature a little bit. And in doing that, my music evolved as well.
Yeah.
Because I was able to really do what I wanted to do. Because obviously, we started in hip hop.
Yeah.
Hip hop is my love. That's my first. That's what gave me the confidence to do music.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was never a vocalist per se. I could carry a tune, but not a vocalist. So I knew I wasn't gonna be no R&B singer or nothing like that.
Right.
But when rap came along, it was like, yo, I could do this. And I do hear melodies, and you could rap in melody, even though they say you can't. You can rap in melody. Yeah, that's unacceptable that they say that, because it still has a flow is a melody. So that opened up, the opportunity for me to start doing music, and then from there I was able to really explore everything that I do. Because I mean, I even like the music that you got. I sent you, some hip hop, and then I sent you some that has like some rock influence.
Mm-hmm.
And we do some of the Spanish music, reggaeton, cumbias. Just a year ago, I was nominated for one of the Tejano Mundial Awards.
Word.
Yeah. So, and not only was I nominated, they asked us to perform.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But we don't have a band. We don't do the band thing. So, all of the Tejano bands were rocking with the band. So I had to live up to that energy. So I put a production together, and I got dancers. I hired dancers, and they did a whole choreography.
Wow.
And I hired somebody to make my visuals that go on the screen in the back, so that it went with the song while it was changing and everything with the performance.
Nice.
And I was able to pull it off. So that was a great thing. But it was in the Tejano world, And
yeah.
So to start in hip hop and to be able to touch into all of these different genres has also really been a learning experience as well, because they do things so much differently across the different genres.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Well, that's good. It means you're getting a little bit of experience in everything.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah.
Are you interested in doing more acting?
Yes, I actually was in a movie recently called "Divided We Stand" by Christopher Sanders.
Okay.
Chris actually filmed the movie early, and then he was able to secure funding for it, and they made it a bigger production. And they debuted it. I think they debuted it in. I wasn't able to make the debut, but it was in, I believe, in Temple or Belton.
Okay.
But now he's gonna do it in North Carolina. He's got a screening in North Carolina. The movie has already won several awards.
Oh wow!
Across the film festival. So shout out Chris Sanders, man, for doing this thing and allowing me to be a part of his baby. So
That's
that was
what's
So and him and Jessica Alexander, who also made it happen. So yeah, anybody need an actor, man? Hit up D Major. That's my new manager.
If you say so.
Hey,
Yeah.
get the percentage.
Sounds good
Get
to
that
me.
percentage.
Hey y'all, stay tuned. We've got more with Ricky coming up. In this block of music, we have the latest from Triz and Cocaine, plus a track from Reverie and Loudon. Let's go ahead and get into Ricky Versetti with California Dreamin'. Hey y'all, do not go anywhere. More coming up. This is the Urban Suite, KSYM, San Antonio College Radio.